This is David Ames. He's rich, successful, the kind of guy everyone thinks has it all, but his life is far from perfect. We open on David waking up next to Julie, a woman he's had a passionate and reckless relationship with. Julie is deeply in love with David, but there's a catch. She's also unstable and obsessed with him.
Hey, honey, I'll call you later.
When? When?
Soon!
The scene feels dreamlike with a soft glow over everything as David, a bit sluggish, makes his way through the morning. David's relationship with Julie is complicated, and while he finds her thrilling, it's clear that things are rocky. They're both out of sync emotionally. As their morning plays out, it's clear that Julie is trying to convince David that they're meant to be together, while David is hesitant. David, a man with privilege, seems to have everything anyone could want: freedom, excitement, and a life full of opportunities. But his attention shifts when he meets Sophia at a party.
David Ames. And to what do I owe this pleasure?
The pleasure of Sophia Serrano. Happy birthday.
We picked it out together. Thank you. Stop flirting and open it.
Sophia is calm, grounded, and offers David something real, something he's been craving but doesn't know he needs. The moment he meets Sophia, it's clear that she's different. She's not trying to impress him with wild drama, and she doesn't need him to validate her. There's something real between them, and David feels it instantly. The more time David spends with Sophia, the more he realizes that she's the kind of woman he could see himself with. She makes him feel at ease in a way Julie never could. Sophia invites David back to her apartment, where they spend some time together.
Done.
That's how you see me?
Maybe I didn't have enough money.
No, it's something that you'd see on a wall in a steakhouse in hell. It's wonderful. Sign it.
Let's see yours.
No.
I feel bad. You said to draw a caricature.
I know. I couldn't. I saw you like that.
The scene feels peaceful and grounded compared to the chaos of David's life. As they sit and chat, David turns on the TV, and an ad for something called Life Extension comes on.
Life extension? How do you accomplish such a thing?
Can you unfreeze a human life?
Take the case of Benny the dog. Benny's the dog. Was frozen for 3 months and thawed out to live a normal life.
The book is Life, the sequel.
It's a strange commercial promising a perfect life free from the consequences from the past. David, intrigued, but thinks nothing of it. But this would later change the trajectory of the movie. After spending the night at Sophia's place, David leaves and approaches his car, when out of nowhere, Julie appears in her car. She urges him to get in, her voice sounding desperate. Despite his hesitation, David gets into her car and they drive off. During the ride, Julie starts questioning him.
What's happiness to you, David?
When did you stop caring, David?
Caring about what?
About the consequences of the promises that you've made. Tell me something, David. I mean, do you believe in God?
Okay, I love you. I love you.
The crash is intense and sudden. David survives, but Julie doesn't. In that moment, everything changes for David. The chaos of his reckless behavior, his unresolved relationship with Julie, and his refusal to face his deeper issues all end in this horrifying moment. After the crash, David ends up in a coma and begins dreaming. Him and Sophia are seen in a park discussing the accident.
I left your apartment, I went downstairs to the car, and my friend, the stalker, had followed me there.
Julie.
You know, I got in a car and she drove off a bridge and committed suicide with me in the car.
We're shown that David's mind is processing everything that happened, including the crash and the deep guilt he feels from Julie's death. He then wakes up. In the next scene, David speaks to his lawyer over the phone about the aftermath of the crash. During this conversation, his disfigured face is revealed to the audience. Later on, David begins stalking Sophia, unsure if she will still like him. He goes to her dance studio to meet up with her.
You want to get together?
Sure.
They agree to go out, and after a night at a club, David, overwhelmed by everything, collapses on the sidewalk. He falls asleep in the middle of the night, lost in his thoughts and the chaos of his life. This moment would start the phase of the life extension program where David would start to dream about having his face back and a perfect relationship with Sophia. David's life with Sophia seemed to be going great. One night, he wakes up next to Sophia in bed and goes to the bathroom, only to see his disfigured face in the mirror, causing him to panic. Suddenly, he wakes up again. This time, Sophia is still in bed and his face is completely normal. But as he climbs back into bed, he realizes with horror that it's not Sophia lying next to him.
Baby, what's wrong?
It's Julie. This scene is a chilling moment where David's fractured reality begins to surface, symbolizing the collapse of his dream world. David, terrified and confused, ties Julie up and calls the police. Later, he meets with his lawyer, who informs him that Sophia was hurt but won't press charges. However, when his lawyer shows him pictures of the injured woman, David is shocked to realize that they aren't of Sophia.
This is not Sophia. This is Julie Gianni. I didn't do this to her. Tommy, someone's setting me up.
David, the board and I have taken care of everything. Okay, I mean, they've been really great, actually.
Then we're shown David meeting a man at a bar, someone he found online who claims he can help him. As they talk, David grows increasingly agitated and suddenly tells everyone around him to shut up, and they do.
You and I signed a contract, David.
Who is the man in the restaurant? Who is it?
In the jail cell with his psychologist, David struggles to piece together how he ended up there. His memories feel fragmented, and no matter how hard he tries, he can't seem to recall exactly what happened. After the psychologist leaves, as their time is over, David sits alone in his cell. As he looks around, the TV in the background plays a commercial for life extension. The familiar ad catches his attention, triggering a sense of deja vu. David then starts banging on the window to get the psychologist's attention. The psychologist rushes to get David out of jail and takes him to the LE offices, where they explain that he had enrolled in a program called Lucid Dream.
This is a revolution of the mind.
As the truth unfolds, David finally removes his mask, overwhelmed by the realization that he has been trapped in a constructed reality. Panicking, he bursts out yelling that he wants to wake up, recognizing that he has been living in a nightmare. David ends up in an empty room yelling, where an elevator abruptly stops him. Inside was tech support, the guy he met earlier at the bar. They both go to the top, where David understands the gravity of the situation.
Everything is your creation. And now we're heading towards your true moment of choice.
In the end, David is forced to confront the reality that his perfect life was nothing more than a lucid dream created by the life extension program. Faced with the choice to continue living in this distorted, imperfect dream or awaken to the truth, David chooses to embrace reality.
It's now your moment of choice. You can return to your lucid dream and live a beautiful life with Sophia or whomever you wish. Or you can choose the world out there.
In a symbolic moment of release, he leaps from a building, signaling his desire to break free from the dream. As he falls, he hears the words,
David, open your eyes.